Have you ever felt that frustration after a recovery? The feeling that all your progress has been thrown away and you're back to square one? If so, know that this is not the end, and, in fact, it could be the beginning of something much bigger. What no one tells you is that every fall brings a lesson, and that understanding the patterns behind setbacks is what separates those who move forward from those who get stuck in the same cycle. The Creator of the universe does not want you to live in guilt, but rather to despair of the power that exists within you. The biggest mistake many people make is thinking that retention is just about not doing, when, in fact, it's about transforming this energy into clear, macroscopic strength. Peace does not come from repression, but from self-control, and whoever learns this changes their life forever. You may think you wasted time, but the truth is that each experience can be a stepping stone to the next level. The problem isn't making mistakes, it's not understanding why the mistake happened and how to avoid it in the future. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. What actually caused a recovery? How to strengthen your mind so that this doesn't happen again? And, most importantly, how do you turn this knowledge into a springboard for success? The answer to these questions could change everything. So, if you are ready to put an end to this cycle and finally master this energy, stay with me, because what you will learn here could be the turning point in your journey. Many difficulties in the semen retention journey because they do not understand the true impact of edging, the practice of stimulating oneself without reaching liberation. At first glance, it may seem harmless, but the truth is that this habit weakens mental control and drains vital energy. The Creator of the universe granted man the ability to channel his strength into prosperity and enlightenment, but in flirting with recovery, he dedicated this gift. Inner peace is shaken, and emotional balance becomes unstable, making you vulnerable to the traps of the matrix. The edging not only puts the practitioner in a state of constant behavior, but also generates a vicious cycle of self-sabotage. Every time you get close to recovery and go back, the brain receives contradictory stimuli, increasing compulsion. This mental exhaustion erodes willpower, making each attempt at retention more difficult than the last. It's like being in front of a full table, smelling the aroma of the food, but not being able to taste it. This generates frustration and anxiety, opening spaces for destructive thoughts and loss of spiritual light. To interrupt this pattern, it is essential to create practical strategies to avoid edging. Keeping busy with activities that promote personal growth, such as physical exercise, reading plants, and meditation, strengthens the mind against impulses. Furthermore, understanding that retention is not just about avoiding loss, but about redirecting that energy towards prosperity makes all the difference. Anyone who truly wants to evolve needs to ask themselves, are they feeding their own light or allowing the shadow of weakness to control them? And so, we begin to realize how the loss of fluids has an essential impact far beyond the physical. Even without complete ejaculation, the edging causes loss of essential fluids, and this has a direct impact on vitality and mental clarity. Semen is not just an exclusion from the body, but a reservoir of precious nutrients like zinc, magnesium, and protein that support energy, immunity, and focus. The Creator of the universe structured the body perfectly and dedicated these significant elements to its own ability to grow and prosper. It is no wonder that after a successful period of retention, many report an increase in inner light and inexplicable peace. The constant loss of these fluids can result in chronic fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and even a weakening of determination. Imagine a warrior about to enter battle, but who exhausts his stamina before combat. How can he fight vigorously? Likewise, those who allow themselves to escape these challenging challenges to make assertive decisions, maintain discipline, and manifest the prosperity they desire. The body responds to scarcity with apathy, making fighting one's urges even more challenging. To preserve this vital energy, it is essential to strengthen the body inside and out. A diet rich in alkaline and natural foods, such as green vegetables, seeds, and oilseeds, helps to reverse the effects of nutrient loss. Additionally, practices such as deep breathing, sun exposure, and meditation help keep energy high. The secret is to create a lifestyle that protects and values this internal strength. After all, what's the point of looking for light if, at the same time, we waste our main source of energy? This invisible drain not only impacts the body, but also weakens the spirit and paves the way for even deeper exhaustion, the energy drain caused by edging. The edging not only does it physically wear down the body, but it also drains vital energy, leaving the individual exhausted and lacking motivation. Many do not realize that, by giving themselves over to this cycle, they are wasting their own creative strength. The Creator of the universe grants us this energy to build something great, but when it is poorly intentional, threats move away and the mind loses its shine. It's like a candle that, instead of lighting the way, burns without purpose, consuming itself until it restarts with just an extinguished wick. This exhaustion manifests itself in several ways: mental fatigue, difficulty concentrating on simple tasks, and even a decline in personal confidence. When a man loses energy, his presence changes. He becomes less assertive, his inner light dims, and even his posture reflects this fragility. Have you noticed how those who keep their energy high have a firmer gaze and a more confident voice? This is no coincidence, but rather the reflection of a spirit strengthened by the retention of this precious strength. The solution to avoid this energy drain is in the transmutation of energy. Instead of allowing this strength to be dispersed without purpose, it can be channeled into productive actions, such as intense training, creative projects, or even the search for knowledge. A walk outside, a cold shower, or practicing conscious breathing are simple ways to regain balance and prevent energy from dissipating. The real challenge is not just avoiding loss, but learning to transform this inner power into something that illuminates your journey. Because when the mind is tired, clarity is lost. And that brings us to the next point: how edging affects the clearly mental. The mind is like a mirror. It reflects what we feed. When someone surrenders to sharpen, this mirror becomes cloudy, obscuring mental clarity and making decision-making difficult. The Creator of the universe presented us with a powerful intellect, capable of creating and transforming realities. But when the vital energy is drained, the mind becomes confused and scattered. The person begins to procrastinate, lose focus, and find themselves involved in a cycle of impulsiveness and regret. Inner peace disappears, and the feeling of control over one's life dissolves. Constant sexual thoughts end up hijacking logic and moral conduct, making any attempt at discipline a real challenge. The individual who wants to be productive, but their mind is always occupied with fantasies, making it difficult to maintain concentration on important tasks. Imagine trying to fill a leaky glass. No matter how much water you pour, it will never be enough. Likewise, those who practice exhaustion, you feel like your mental strength is always slipping away, leaving a trail of tiredness and disorientation. Threats do not flourish in frightening terrain, and a fragmented mind cannot create a fulfilling life. To regain this clarity, it is essential to adopt practices that clear your mind and redirect your thoughts. Breathing exercises, reflective writing, and moments of silence are powerful tools for restoring internal balance. An effective technique is to write down all your thoughts before going to sleep, organizing your mind and reducing unconscious impulses. When clarity returns, life flows more harmoniously, decisions become more accurate, and the feeling of being in control returns. But for many, the impact of edging it goes beyond the mind. It is reflected in behavior, posture, and even facial expression. The impact of Orla, it goes far beyond what we feel internally. It manifests itself externally, shaping behavior and even appearance. A man who constantly drains his energy becomes more apathetic, insecure, and emotionally unstable. His posture is weak, his gaze loses firmness, and even his voice conveys less truth. The Creator of the universe endowed us with a presence that emanates strength when we are aligned with our vital energy. But when this strength fades, the shine in our eyes disappears. Those who cultivate attention realize that their inner light is reflected in their image, making them more magnetic and self-confident. Furthermore, mental overstimulation caused by edging creates a state of restlessness that translates into body language. Small gestures of impatience, such as fidgeting with your hands for no reason or avoiding eye contact, become more frequent. These signs reveal an internal imbalance, removing opportunities and causing the person's social impact. Those who keep their energy preserved convey an aura of security and self-control, qualities that naturally attract respect and admiration. Have you ever noticed how some people enter a room and immediately attract attention without having to say a word? This happens because your energy is complete and technical. To reverse this disruption, it is essential to cultivate habits that restore presence and posture. Activities such as strength training, sun exposure, and deep breathing techniques help rebalance body and mind. Postural exercises, such as keeping your shoulders open and your chin aligned, also influence the way energy flows through the body. Small adjustments to our routine make a huge difference in the way we feel and are perceived. And speaking of posture, a common mistake that many people make and which undermines self-control is the simple habit of staying in bed unnecessarily. The bed should be a sanctuary of rest, not a battlefield against a restless mind. Many fall into the trap of lying around without sleep, allowing impulsive thoughts to take over. The creator of the universe designed sleep as a time to restore energy, but when the bed becomes a space of restlessness, this harmony is broken. Peace disappears, and self-control weakens, making the person more vulnerable to attempts. Lying down only when you are truly ready to sleep is a simple but powerful principle for maintaining discipline in retaining vital energy. When someone lies awake in bed, the mind begins to wander and seek stimuli, often leading to exhaustion and, consequently, recovery. It's a treacherous cycle. A person convinces themselves that it's okay to just relax a little, but before they know it, they're caught up in the whirlwind of impulses. To avoid this problem, a good habit is to get up and change your environment as soon as you feel that sleep is not coming. Reading an uplifting book, meditating, or even just following along for a few minutes can help bring the tiredness you need to sleep without specific distractions. Another essential practice is to prepare the environment for deep, restful sleep. Keeping the room dark, without screens, and at a pleasant temperature makes all the difference. Creating a nighttime ritual, such as listening to relaxing music or drinking calming tea, also helps signal to your body that it's time to switch off. Small lifestyle adjustments can completely transform your relationship with sleep and, consequently, strengthen your discipline in sleep retention. But there is a detail that is often ignored, and that could be the biggest villain of those recovered: the telephone next to the bed. The phone has become an extension of the body for many, but its impact on semen retention can be devastating. Leaving your cell phone within reach at night is like sleeping next to a time bomb. The creator of the universe grants us the ability to control our impulses, but when the attempt is always available just a touch away, it becomes much more difficult to resist. Endless scrolling on social media, unexpected notifications, and easy access to visual triggers cause mental peace to be destroyed, paving the way for unexpected recoveries. The simple habit of keeping your phone out of your bedroom can revolutionize your level of discipline. Studies show that blue light from screens affects the production of melatonin, impairing sleep and leaving the mind more susceptible to impulses. Furthermore, an attempt to just take a look can quickly turn into minutes or hours of consuming harmful content. An effective trick is to charge your phone in another room or use a physical alarm clock, eliminating any excuse to keep your cell phone nearby. This way, the mind rests and vital energy is protected. Another powerful strategy is to replace screen time with activities that nourish the soul and strengthen the mind. Before bed, instead of scrolling through your cell phone, how about reading an inspired book about prosperity and enlightenment? Classics like The Power of Now de Eckhart Tolle ou The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles can bring transformative insights. Changing small habits created a ripple effect on the retention journey, making each decision more conscious and aligned with a greater purpose. And speaking of awareness, one of the most important steps to keeping your energy high is to develop full attention to your own thoughts. Thoughts are the root of all actions. Before any recovery, there is a moment when the mind allows itself to flirt with fantasies and desires. The creator of the universe gave us the power to choose what to focus our attention on, and those who dominate your thoughts dominate your life. Inner peace begins in the mind, and allowing lustful thoughts to invade your mental space is like opening a door to self-sabotage. Retention is not just about controlling the body, but mainly about disciplining the mind, nipping evil in the bud before it gains strength. The problem is that many see these thoughts as something harmless, without realizing that they act like small cracks in a dam. At first, they seem insignificant, but if they are not blocked, they end up breaking the entire structure. Prosperity and inner strength depend on a clear and focused mind. A simple but effective technique is to immediately replace any inappropriate thoughts with a powerful affirmation, such as, "I am strong and control my energy," or "I channel my strength into my growth." This instantaneous exchange reprograms the brain and reinforces self-control. Furthermore, avoiding external triggers also makes all the difference. Social networks, series, or even certain songs can plant seeds that germinate into impulses that are difficult to contain. Creating a mental and physical environment that promotes retention is a smart way to protect your energy. Replacing superficial content with enriching readings and activities that challenge the intellect helps to strengthen discipline. And it's not just about avoiding temptation, but about cultivating a consciousness that values self-control as a path to true enlightenment. Speaking of avoiding triggers, there is a factor that silently weakens discipline: the consumption of alcohol and stimulants. Alcohol and other stimulants are silent saboteurs of sex retention. Not only do they weaken self-control, they also disable the brain's inhibitory brakes, making it much harder to resist urges. The Creator of the universe gave us discernment to choose paths that strengthen the mind and spirit, but when substance alters this balance, discipline collapses. Many experienced sufferers note that they occur precisely after consuming excessive alcohol or caffeine, as these substances leave the mind more vulnerable and inner peace more distant. Alcohol, in particular, reduces the ability to make informed decisions, turning small attempts into big falls. The individual may be strong during the day, but after a few doses, his willpower dissolves. This is because alcohol affects the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for self-control and strategic decision-making. Prosperity and enlightenment depend on a sharp mind, and any substance that dulls it becomes an obstacle on the journey. Additionally, excessive energy drinks and caffeine can create hyperstimulation, leaving the body restless and increasing the need to discharge this energy in the wrong way. To strengthen self-control, the ideal is to replace these habits with practices that increase energy without compromising discipline. Natural teas such as chamomile, mint, and ginger are great options for relaxing without reducing retention. Drinking pure, mineralized water throughout the day also helps keep your body and mind balanced. Small adjustments to daily habits make a huge difference in the retention journey. But in addition to substances that impair self-control, there is a physiological factor that helps keep impulses under control: the temperature of the environment. The temperature of the environment has a direct impact on impulses and retention discipline. The Creator of the universe designed us to respond to the environment around us, and high temperatures tend to stimulate the body and mind in ways that can lead to recovery. On the other hand, a cooler environment helps keep vital energy under control and promotes a feeling of peace and balance. Many maintenance practitioners have found that cold showers, fresh air, and light clothing at night significantly improve impulses and increase self-control. The cold shower, in particular, is a powerful tool for resetting the nervous system and exciting the mind. It reduces body temperature, activates circulation, and helps dispel what could otherwise become excessive desire. Additionally, cold water strengthens mental discipline, teaching the body to resist discomfort and overcome challenges more easily. A simple cold shower when you wake up or before bed can make all the difference in maintaining retention more easily. Opportunities and self-control go together, and learning to master your own body strengthens this connection. In addition to taking a cold shower, maintaining a cool environment and avoiding heavy coverings can be an effective strategy to reduce nighttime urges. Excessive heat can stimulate improvement and make it difficult to sleep deeply, while a cooler temperature encourages restful rest. Retention is not just a matter of willpower, but also of strategic intelligence, and creating conditions for self-control is part of the process. But maintaining stable energy goes beyond temperature. You need to adopt a lifestyle that avoids a sedentary lifestyle and encourages constant movement. The body was made to move, and inertia is one of the biggest enemies of semen retention. The Creator of the universe gave us muscle, and energy to be used productively, and when that energy builds up without direction, the urges tend to intensify. Staying physically active not only reduces excessive desire, but also transforms this inner strength into something that generates prosperity. Mental peace increases, self-discipline strengthens, and the body responds with more vitality. Those who move constantly notice that their energy flows in a balanced way, without the need for escape. A sedentary lifestyle not only weakens the body, but also the mind. An entire day without physical activity can result in restlessness, stress, and tension accumulation, leading to the search for an immediate breakout. To avoid this, any form of exercise is valid: weight training, running, martial arts, yoga, or even daily walks. The important thing is to give the body a positive outlet for this accumulated energy. Imagine a dammed river with no drainage. Sooner or later, it overflows. The same happens with vital energy. When directed correctly, it transforms forcefully and clearly. In addition to improving impulse control, physical exercise releases endorphins, which generate a feeling of well-being and satisfaction. This reduces the need to seek instant pleasure in destructive behaviors. For those just starting out, a good start can be committing to 15 minutes of activity a day, gradually increasing. Retention becomes much easier when the body is strong and the mind is disciplined. But, in addition to physical activity, there is another factor that helps to maintain focus and avoid relapses: occupation with meaningful and productive activities. An empty mind is fertile ground for distractions and destructive impulses. When there is no clear purpose or tasks that require focus, thoughts tend to wander, making room for uncontrollable desires. The Creator of the universe gave us the ability to create, evolve, and manifest prosperity, but when this energy is not channeled into something productive, it turns against us. Mental peace depends on a structured routine, where each moment of the day has a defined purpose. A man who stays busy with important activities doesn't have time to fight impulses. He simply excels at being focused on something bigger. The problem with idleness is that it creates an internal filter that needs to be filled somehow. If there are no engaging projects, studies, jobs, or hobbies, the mind will look for simple pleasures to occupy its time. The key is to fill your days with actions that promote growth and expansion. Working on new learning, developing useful skills, or even getting involved in volunteer work are powerful ways to direct energy towards something constructive. When the mind is busy building, there is no room for thoughts that lead to the destruction of one's own energy. Creating a productive routine is one of the pillars of maintaining semen and strengthening the spirit. Schedules for waking up, studying, practicing physical activities, and developing personal projects create a defined structure that significantly reduces the chance of recovery. Those who have a clear objective and are dedicated to it feel a sense of purpose that overcomes any momentary impulse. In the end, staying busy is not just a strategy, but a lifestyle that strengthens discipline. And to sustain this motivation over time, it is essential to feed the mind daily with inspired knowledge. Motivation is like a fire that needs to be fed daily to keep it from going out. Without constant updating, discipline begins to weaken and old habits take control again. The Creator of the universe gave us the ability to seek knowledge and strengthen the spirit, but this strength needs to be cultivated. Anyone who practices sex withholding must understand that this journey is not just about avoiding relapse, but about building a new identity, a stronger, wiser, and more focused version. To achieve this, it is essential to expose yourself to content that elevates the mind and reinforces this commitment daily. Life-changing books, inspiring videos, and even personal progress notes are powerful for keeping the fire of motivation burning. Great works like The Power of the Subconscious, de Joseph Murphy, The Science of Getting Rich, de Wallace Wattles, Who Thinks Gets Rich, by Napoleon Hill are inexhaustible sources of wisdom for those seeking forests and self-control. Furthermore, hearing testimonials from those who have already walked this path strengthens the belief that retention brings extraordinary results. The mind needs to be fed with messages that reinforce the vision of the future, because what is repeated daily becomes part of who we are. Create daily motivation rituals. Turn retention into a lifestyle. Taking a few minutes in the morning to read something inspiring, visualize your goals, or even reaffirm powerful phrases can be the difference between a firm mind and a weak mind. Each day is an opportunity to strengthen energy and mental clarity, making the journey lighter and more rewarding. In the end, those who commit to continuous evolution discover that retention goes beyond resistance. It becomes a portal to a prosperous and enlightened life. Now that you understand what really influences recoveries, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Are you going to let this information pass by as just another video, or are you going to use it to transform your life? The Creator of the universe has given you immense potential, and retention is a powerful tool for activating it. But knowing this is not enough. It is an application that makes a difference. If you want to see real change, you need to take action. What will you implement from today? Will you adjust your routine, eliminate triggers, or strengthen your discipline? The answer is in your hands. Prosperity and inner peace are not the privileges of a few, but rather the result of consistent choices. Every decision you make strengthens or weakens your energy, and the question you need to ask yourself is, are you feeding your light or wasting your power? Those who understand this principle realize that retention is not a burden, but a path to a more balanced, prosperous, and enlightened life. And if you've made it this far, you've already taken the first step out of the recovery cycle and into a new phase of mastery and growth. Now, tell me, which of these strategies made the most sense to you? What have you noticed that needs to change? Leave your comment below, because this exchange of experiences strengthens our journey even more. And of course, if this content helped you, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue receiving valuable insights about sex retention and personal development. See you in the next video. Your evolution is just beginning.